Good evening and welcome back. Jay Davis from James W. Davis and Associates joins us for It's the Law. Good evening.
Good evening, Shelby. Great to be here.
Happy to have you. Well, entertainer Britney Spears is back in court just 3 weeks after an emotional testimony about her conservatorship. New court filings show that she wants the conservatorship to end and regain control of her life and finances. So, first, kind of explain to us, what is a conservatorship?
A conservatorship is a legal establishment of an estate. So right now, basically with Brittany, it's her estate, her value, what the value of her persona is, and the money that she actually owns. So you can develop a conservatorship. Most people own their own money. That's a normal way to be. But in certain circumstances, people are considered unable to manage that. And particularly when it's such a large estate, I believe there were some health problems, maybe addiction type problems with Brittany a while back, and that someone stepped in and that to conserve her estate so that she didn't deplete it for purposes that weren't legally correct. And so you have to get a judge to establish that.
All right, I was going to ask, how does that process go? But who gets to decide who is in charge of what?
Generally, that's a judge. In Georgia, it's often the probate court that would go into that. It's a guardianship type thing. And so different states would be different as to how they go about it. But for example, if you've got an elderly parent, a lot of people go into a similar situation with a guardianship and a conservatorship to protect their funds, so that their funds go into an estate and somebody can dole it out, so they don't just write checks here and there and not even remember where they wrote them. That happens much more often with someone elderly, maybe experiencing some dementia.
So, how does Brittany, or maybe just anyone, get out of a conservatorship, and does it vary state to state?
It does vary state to state. The terms of it are going to be state specific. So what you would likely need to do is to go into court and to be able to show, if she wants to get totally out of it, then to be able to show that she is capable, that she has become capable since the time of whatever her inability was at the time, that she's now capable of doing that. It actually creates, particularly in her case, sort of a servitude type of labor where she's still going out, she's still performing, making quite a bit of money, but yet she doesn't have any control of all of those funds. So at some point, she would have to go in and show that she is able to manage that without slipping off the slope. Some people could argue that once she had access to that she would likely go back into some other types of behavior. I'm sure that's what her father would like to argue, but some people would argue she's certainly able to do whatever she wants to do with her own money, and she's demonstrated it for long enough. So a judge is going to be the final. Well, a judge will be a determinative of that, and then if she were or they were to believe that the judge made the choice in error, then it would go into a higher court, an appellate court.
All right. Well, Jay, thank you so much for breaking that down. And as always, we're going to continue to follow and see what happens here.
We'll see what happens. Thanks, Shelby.